my name is Pratyusha and welcome back to my video. For this video, we are going to be reading The Jungle Book. So, it's retold from Rudyard Kipling original. But this is illustrated by Lucy Corvino, but this book is written by Lisa Church. So there are 8 chapters, but we are going to be doing the first chapter, which is Mowgli's brothers. It was 7 o'clock on a very warm evening in the snowy hills when Father Wolf woke up from his day's rest. He scratched, yawned, and looked at Mother Wolf with a big grey nose dropped across her 4 squealing cubs. "Arg!" said Father Wolf. "It's time to hunt again." He was on his way out of the cave when he saw the jackal Tabika approaching. The jungle wolves of India hated Tabika because he ran about making trouble, telling lies, and eating garbage from the garbage from the nearby village. However, he did always know the happenings of the jungle. Tabika told Father Wolf that he had some troubling news. "Shere Khan, the big one, has moved his hunting grounds," Tabika said. "He will hunt here for the next moon." Shere Khan was a tiger who lived near the Ganga River, 20 miles away. "He can't do that," Father Wolf said angrily. "He will scare away the animals I hunt." "Why is everyone so afraid of Shere Khan?" said Mother Wolf. "He has limped on one foot since he was born, and he can't hurt the jungle animals. That's why he kills the village cattle. But now the people of the village will hunt him. We will need to run when they start the chase." Father Wolf listened carefully and heard the dry, angry whine of a tiger who has caught nothing and does not care if all jungle knows it. "Listen to that howl. It is the sound he makes when he hunts man." Mother Wolf said softly. "Man," said Father Wolf. "Are there so few beetles and frogs that he must eat man?" Father Wolf knew that the law of the jungle did not allow any beast to eat man unless he was killing to show his children how to kill. "Sooner or later, man will be back with guns," Mother Wolf said. "Everyone in the jungle will suffer." "Something is coming uphill," said Father Wolf, twitching one ear. "Get ready." The bushes moved in the thicket, and Father Wolf dropped down to see what came out. He pounced, and then, if you had been watching, you would have seen the most wonderful thing in the world. The wolf stopped in midair. He came back down, landing right where he started. "Man!" he snapped. "A man cub, look!" Right in front of him, holding onto a low branch, stood a little baby, softly and slightly chubby, who could just walk. He looked up at Father Wolf's face and laughed. "That's a man cub," said Mother Wolf. "I have never seen one. Bring it here. How little, how brave," she added softly. In the next second, the moonlight was blocked out of the cave. The square head of the tiger Shere Khan appeared in the doorway, his body too big to fit through the small opening. "A man cub went this way," said the tiger. "Its parents have run off. Give the cub to me." Father Wolf knew the man cub would be in danger if he was handed over to Shere Khan. "The wolves are free animals," said Father Wolf. "They take orders from the head of the wolf pack, not from a striped cat killer like you. The man cub is ours to do with as we choose. This is I, Shere Khan, who speaks to you." The tiger roared, filled the cave with thunder. "And it is I, Raksha, who answers. said Mother Wolf angrily. The man cub is mine. He shall not be killed. He will run with my pack and hunt with my pack. In the end, you hunter of man cubs, you frog eater and fish killer, he will hunt you. Now go. Shere Khan knew better than to fight Mother Wolf. Even he could not best a mother fighting for the life of a child. He backed up growling, his head twisting to get out of the cave. When he was outside, he shouted, "You may say this now, but we shall see what the whole pack says. The cub is mine, and to my teeth he will come in the end." Mother Wolf threw herself down among her cubs. "Shere Khan is right," Father Wolf said to her softly. "The cub must be shown to the pack. Will you still keep him?" "Keep him?" she gasped. "He came hungry and alone in the night, and yet he wasn't afraid." "Of course I will keep him." "Lie still, Mowgli the frog. This is the name I will call you." "But what will our pack say?" said Father Wolf. "The law of the jungle says that the cubs must be brought to the pack as soon they are old enough." "We shall see," said Mother Wolf. "We shall see." Time passed, and the man cub stayed with Mother Wolf and Father Wolf. They waited until the cubs could run a little, and then they took the young wolves and Mowgli to the council rock. The rock was hilltop, covered in stones and boulders, where 100 wolves could hide. Akela, the great grey lone wolf, who led all the pack by strength and intelligence, led the meeting. There was very little talking at the rock. The cubs stumbled over one another in the center of the circle, where their mothers and fathers sat. Sometimes a mother would push her cub far out into the moonlight to be sure it was seen. At last, Father Wolf pushed Mowgli the frog into the center. Akela never raised his head from his paws. A muffled voice from behind the rocks called out, "The cub is mine. Give him to me." Shere Khan's cry did not work. Instead, there was a chorus of deep growls. Then a young wolf spoke out, questioning why the man cub was there. "Now, the law of the jungle says that if there is any question about a cub being accepted by the pack, 2 members of the pack must speak on why he should be taken. 2 members can't be the mothers or father." "Who speaks for the man cub?" said Akela. There was no answer, and Mother Wolf got ready for what she knew would be a fight. Then Balu, the only other creature that was allowed at the pack council, got up on his hind legs and grunted. The sleepy brown bear taught the law of the jungle to all wolf cubs and was respected among the senior wolves. "I speak for the man cub," he said. "There is nothing wrong with having a man cub in our pack. I myself will teach him." "We need another," said Akela. "Balu has spoken, and he is a teacher for young cubs." "Who speaks beside Balu?" A black shadow dropped into the circle. It was Bagheera, the Black Panther. Everyone knew him, but nobody cared to cross his path. He was sneaky as Tabika, as bold as a wild buffalo, and as reckless as a herd elephant. But he had a voice soft as wild honey dripping from a tree, and a skin softer than the down of a baby bird. Balu has spoken for him. Now I will speak too. Will you take a bull, fat and freshly killed, in exchange for accepting this man cub? Bagheera asked. The members of the pack looked at one another. The panther should not even be at the meeting, but offering such a prize was tempting. The pack agreed, one by one, then slowly left to see the freshly killed bull. Sher Khan roared at the night. He was angry that Mowgli had not been handed over. Roar well, said Bagheera, for some day this man cub's roar will be of importance. Take the man cub away, Akela said to Father Wolf, and train him well. Men and their cubs are very wise. He may be of help some day, but only the time would tell if this would be true. Now you will just have to be happy with guessing at the wonderful life Mowgli had among the wolves for the next 10 or 11 years. If it were all to be written down, it would fill so many books. He grew up with the cubs, even though they were grown wolves almost before he was a child. Father Wolf taught him everything he needed to know about the jungle, every rustle in the grass, every breath of the warm night air, every note of the owls above his head, every scratch of a bat's claws, and every splash of every little fish jumping in a pool meant just as much to Father Wolf as the work of an office means to be a businessman. When he was not learning, Mowgli sat out in the sun and slept and ate and slept again. When he felt dirty or hot, he swam in the forest pools. When he wanted honey, he climbed up a tree for it. At first, Mowgli clung to the branches, but as he learned, he flung himself through the branches, almost as boldly as the grey apes of the jungle. More than anything, Mowgli loved to walk into the dark, warm heart of the forest with Bagheera, sleep all through the drowsy day, and watch Bagheera do his killing at night. Bagheera killed right and left when he felt hungry. When the man cub was old enough to understand things, Bagheera explained that he must never touch cattle because he had been bought into the pack for the price of a bull's life. Aside from a cattle, the jungle offered him all the food he would ever need. Under the jungle animals watched the man cub grew and grew strong. He didn't know he was learning many lessons while he was hunting for food every day. He found which plants were safe to eat, which animals he was able to catch, and how many bugs made a crunchy and filling supper. Mother Wolf told Mowgli once or twice that Shere Khan was not to be trusted and that someday he must kill the tiger. A young wolf would have remembered that every hour, but Mowgli forgot it because he was only a young boy. Shere Khan often crossed his path in the jungle, for as Akela grew older and weaker, the limping tiger came to be friends with the younger wolves at the pack. They followed him along for scraps. Shere Khan was amazed that the pack was still follow a dying wolf and a man cub. He teased them sometimes, arguing that he would make a much better leader than what he had now. Bagheera knew Shere Khan's thoughts and told Mowgli that the limping tiger would kill him someday if he wasn't very careful. But Mowgli only laughed and answered, I have the pack and you and Balu. Why should I be afraid? Little brother, open those eyes. Shere Khan did not kill you in the jungle, but remember, Akela is very old. Soon the day will come when he is leader no more. Many of the wolves believe that a man cub has no place with the pack. In a little time you will be a man. And why Shouldn't a man run with his brothers? Asked Mowgli. I was born in the jungle. I have obeyed the law of the jungle, and there is no wolf I have not helped. Surely they are my brothers. Bagheera stretched and half shut his eyes. Little brother, he said, feed under my jaw. Mowgli put his strong hand just under Bagheera's silky chin. He came upon a little bald spot. There is no one in the jungle who knows I carried that mark. The mark of a collar, and yet, little brother, I was born among men. It was in the care of these men that my mother died in the cages of the king's palace. It was because of that I paid for the price for you at the council meeting. When you were a tiny man cub, I did not want you to be raised by men. Yes, I too was born among men. They kept me behind bars and fed me from an iron pan, until one night I got so angry and broke the silly lock with one of my blow of my paw and ran away. I became more terrible in the jungle than even Shere Khan. Yes, said Mowgli. All the jungle fears Bagheera, all except me. Oh, you are a man cub, said the Black Panther very tenderly. And as I returned to the jungle, so must you go back to the men. At last to the men who are your brothers, if you are not killed at the council. But why? Why should anyone wish to kill me? Asked Mowgli. Look at me, said Bagheera, and Mowgli looked at him between the eyes. The big panther turned his head away. That is why, he said, moving his paw in the leaves. Not even I can look you between the eyes, and I was born among men. And I love you, little brother. The others hate you because their eyes can't meet yours. Because you have shown us since you were a young child that you are wise, because you have pulled out thorns from their feet. But because you are a man. I did not know these things, said Mowgli sadly, and he frowned under his heavy black eyebrows. You must be ready for the council at the rock. When the pack turns against Akela, you will need to I have it, said Bagheera, leaping up. Go down quickly to the men's hut in their valley. Take some of the red flower they grow there. The red flower is a stronger friend than I or Balu or anyone in the pack who loves you. You must have it ready. By red flower, Bagheera meant fire, but no one in the creature in the jungle called it that name. Every beast lived in great fear of it because they didn't understand it. The red flower, said Mowgli, that grows outside their huts in the night. Yes, I will get some. Now, that is how a wise man cub speaks. Bagheera said proudly, remember that it grows in little pots. Get one quickly and keep it by you when you need it. Good, said Mowgli. I go, but are you sure that Shere Khan is worth all this trouble? I'm sure, little brother. Then I shall pay him back for all that he has done, and maybe a little more. Mowgli said as he skipped away. Mowgli followed the cries of the hunting pack to the stream. The snort of a buck caused his ears to prick, and he listened to the howls from the young wolves. Akela, Akela, attack now. Akela, you're the lone wolf. Show your strength. They expected their leader to miss his prey. His age made him slow and cautious. The lone wolf must have sprung and missed the deer, for Mowgli heard the snap of his teeth, and then a yelp of the buck kicked him over. Mowgli didn't want to hear anything more. He dashed on and let yells filter behind him, and he ran into the fields where the villagers lived. Tomorrow's the day for Akela and me, Mowgli thought as he pressed his face close to the window of a hut. He can no longer prove his leadership. That is near for him. I must go get the red flower. He watched the fire on the hearth off all night and saw the women of the house get up and feed it in the darkness. When the morning came and most of the area around the red flower was cold and white, Mowgli watched a man child picked up a pot and filled it with lumps of red hot charcoal. The child put it under his blanket and went outside to make the cast. Is that all? Thought Mowgli. If a cub can do it, there is nothing to fear. He quietly walked around the corner and took the pot from the boy's hand and disappeared into the frog while the boy cried out in fear. They are very like me, Mowgli thought, blowing into the pot as he had seen the women do. This thing will die if I do not give it something to eat. He dropped the twigs and dried bark on the red stuff. Halfway back to the jungle, he met Bagheera. They are looking for you, said the panther. I'm ready, see. Mowgli held up the fire pot. Akela, the lone wolf, lay by the side of this rock and as a sign that the leadership of the pack was open. Shere Khan walked back and forth in the front of the pack. Some hungry wolves tagged along behind him. Bagheera lay close to Mowgli. Firepot was between Mowgli's knees. When the pack was all gathered together, Shere Khan began to speak. He has no right to speak, whispered Bagheera. Tell them, Mowgli. Mowgli sprang to his feet. Free animals, he cried. Does Shere Khan lead our pack? What has a tiger to do with our leadership? I see that you are looking for a new leadership, and I have been asked to speak. Shere Khan began. By whom? Asked Mowgli. The leadership of the pack should stay with the wolves. There were yells from the crowd for Mowgli to stay quiet. Akela raised off his old head wearily. Forget this old wolf, Shere Khan said. Looking at Akela, he is doomed to die. He has years have passed. He had his turn leading the pack. It is the man cub who has lived too long. He has troubled the jungle for 10 seasons now. Give him to me, or I will hunt here always, and not give you one bone. Here is a man, and I hate him. More than half the pack yelled back, a man. Let him go to his own place, and turn all people of the village against us, shouted Shere Khan. No, give him to me. He's a man, and none of us can look between the eyes. He's dangerous. Akela lifted his hand again and again and said, he has eaten our food. He has slept with us. He has hunted game with us. He has broken no law of the jungle. No man cub can run with people of the jungle, howled Shere Khan. Give him to me. He's our brother in all but blood. Akela went on. And you would kill him here? I will make you a promise. If you let the man cub go to his own place, I will not fight back when it is my turn to die. He's a man, snarled the pack. If it is up to you now, Bagheera said to Mowgli, we can do no more except fight. Mowgli stood upright with the fire pot in his hands. He stretched out his arms and spoke with the rage and sorrow. Listen, you, we who have told me so often tonight that I am a man, that I can feel your words are true. I will not call your brothers in any longer. What you do and what you will not do is not yours. To say, I will make those choices. He flung his pot on the ground, and some of the red coals lift a tuft, a dried moss of fire. All the council leaned back in fear before leaping the flames. Mowgli pushed a dead branch into the fire until the twigs lit and crackled. He twirled it above his head among the frightened wolves. You are the master, said Bagheera. You saved Akela from his death. He always have been your friend. Mowgli looked over the pack. I will go to my own people as you wish. I will forget your friendship, but I will be more loyal than you. I promise there will be no war between any of my people and the pack. Yet there is one thing I must settle before I go. He slowly walked to where Shere Khan sat blinking stupidly at the flames and lifted him up by the tuft of for his chin. Get up when a man speaks to you, Mowgli cried. Shere Khan's ears lay flat back on his head, and he shut his eyes, for the burning twig was very near. The beast said he'd kill me at the council. You move a whisker toward me, and I will push this red flower down your throat. Then the tiger whimpered and whined in fear. Pah, you jungle cat, go now. But remember this. Next time I come to the council dock, it will be with the Shere Khan's hide, for the rest of Caleb goes free to live as he pleases. You will not hurt him. You other dogs leave. The fire at the end of the branch was burning brightly now, and the wolves scurried off as Mowgli ran the twig around the circle of the pack. At least there were only Akela, Bagheera, and perhaps 10 wolves who had taken Mowgli's side. Then something inside Mowgli began to hurt as he never had before in his life. He caught his breath and sobbed, and the tears ran down his face. What is it? Bagheera asked. I do not wish to leave the jungle. I don't know why I feel this way. Am I dying, Bagheera? No, little brother. Those are only tears that men use, said Bagheera. Now I know for certain that you are a man and a man cub no longer. The jungle is shut to you from now on. Let them fall, Mowgli, though they are only tears. So Mowgli sat and cried as if his heart would break, for he had never really cried in his life before. Now he said, I will go to men, but first I must say goodbye to my mother. And so he went to the cave where she lived with Father Wolf and cried on her fur, while 4 almost grown cubs around her howled sadly. You will never forget me, said Mowgli. Never, said the man cubs. Come to the foot of the hill when you are man, and we'll talk to you. We will go cornfields and play with you at night. Come soon, said Father Wolf. Oh, wise little frog, come again soon. Your mother and I are growing old. Come soon, little son of mine, said Mother Wolf. For listen, child of mine, I love you more than I have ever loved my cubs. I will surely come, said Mowgli. Don't forget me. Tell them in the jungle never to forget me. The dawn had begun to break when Mowgli sat down on the hillside alone. It was time to meet those strange things called men. Thank you, everyone. Bye. See you in the next chapter, Cars Hunting.